Oh my gosh, Jacob.
It was Jan.
It was Jan.
And on the one hand, like, I'm really glad we got that. We got there eventually, but you got there. Okay, we need to talk about this because you had some guesses in the very first episode, which were astonishingly close.
I was like basically 3. All 3, basically.
Okay,
like,
I'm going to have to deal with some feelings, but tell us about each of these 3 things.
Okay, I said a serial killer come out of retirement.
Retirement, sure.
And it seems like Jan was a serial killer.
Maybe a serial killer.
More than Tim Kono, because
more than Tim Kono and more than Charles Hayden Savage.
Yeah, because she had so much poison.
She had a little labeled pill box of Jan's little toxins. And there's a great line when she's poisoning Charles, and Charles is near death because Charles is dying, and she's just like, I'm not one of those people who do it the same way all the time. I don't need to figure out a niche, which means if she's only done this once before, there is no like, don't need to do it the same way all the time. Like, she's clearly, like, not clearly. There's a case to be made that she's done this a few times.
Yes, not just Tim and not just Charles. So she has enough in there. She is definitely ready to murder a bunch of people.
Ready. She's definitely thought about, like, how she doesn't have to do this the same way all the time. So, yeah, girl's got some history.
She's the Black Widow.
Yeah.
I mean, not the Marvel one. But that's what they call somebody who goes around. She is the actual femme fatale. Yes,
you'd think that exactly. There's a nice little misdirect there. Like, Mabel is set up to be the young hotsy-totsy femme fatale walking around in a fur coat, which even she admits was hot.
Yes,
in the previous episode,
right.
But she's the one walking around hotsy-totsy. But Jan is actually the femme fatale, the most like. Great homely, like, she's not homely. She's a very beautiful lady, but she's not walking around like Jessica Rabbit or Jessica Lange. You know what I mean? Like, she is. Maybe
I need to re-understand what the term femme fatale
means.
means.
You know exactly. Like,
I thought femme fatale was the woman you fall for and then she gets you into trouble.
Yeah. The woman you fall for and gets you in trouble, but the woman who you fall for but shouldn't fall for because there's some kind of danger or mystery around her. And is she going to kill you, or is she like actually in need of your rescue? And you don't know because you're just all confused with wanting to do the right thing, but also thinking with your dick. And it's just like, it's all wrapped up in all that, Jessica.
Okay. All right. So I said serial killer.
I mean, I think we have to well,
hold on just a sec. So I said serial killer. Then I said a cheesemonger, and we have a deli person.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we're
you kind of were giving it to me earlier.
Yeah, sure, fine.
And then my third guess was, or I said there were 3. I said there were 3 in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I said the third was a accidental dog killer. And we had an accidental cat death.
Did you say accidental?
I did.
Ah, for the love of Pete.
I did. I know you have feelings. You're competitive.
I am really, really upset right now.
I knew nothing about this show.
I know.
Absolutely nothing.
I am not accusing you of doing, because you didn't even do any pre-cheating.
I didn't. I did none.
We can't even tell you about these people. We're gonna have another episode in a few weeks where we talk about the people in this episode, because we didn't want to do. We didn't want to do any pre-cheating and like figure all this out. So, I think do you get a special award for this?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, like, this is like our first season-long arc on all this.
You're going to Canada. You can go pick it up for me. Will
okay,
you,
sure.
If you would?
Yes, I will. When I visit the podcast adjudication headquarters, I will pick up your special award. It's a special award.
Thank you. Thank you. I couldn't have done it without all of you. Thank you. I'd like to thank my mom and my dad and all of my teachers and, of course, my husband.
I really thought you were going to say Agatha Christie there, but I'll take the credit. Sure, why not? So, yeah, good job. Good. I mean, good job.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I totally, there was a full-on guess. But this episode was so great. This
is a fantastic capstone to all of this.
Yes. Capstone, callbacks, circling back.
So many callbacks, like gut milk. They like when they Jan poisons Charles, and like they're just like, give him some gut milk. That clears out toxins from your system.
Yeah.
Gut milk, yes.
Oh, okay. That's right. It clears out toxins from your systems. Oh my God. Yes. And that she's a punning murderer.
She's a total punning murderer. She's about to like flood the entire apartment building with gas and kill hundreds of people. Like she even says, I have to think bigger. She's about to try and kill hundreds of people. And she says, well, I guess I won't be seeing you but sooner or later. Come on.
Yeah. And then it'll be a gas.
Does she say that?
Yes.
Oh my Lord. I missed that one.
Because we have baking murderers in, fiction and library fiction. And now we have punning murderers.
Punning murder. 100%. Bring it on.
Oh my gosh.
There's punning murders and like there's callbacks in this one. The farce in this episode is off the chain.
And you would think that they would have, corridors with jokes. The doors,
all the different
doors
and they do it in the elevator.
No, it's all elevator jokes.
But it's so good. Like, I mean, like he's rolling around, like acting like he's drunk. He's getting hit in the nuts repeatedly with an elevator door. I mean, there's some low comedy happening here.
Yes. And do you think
which I love, by the way. Low comedy,
fully.
I'm not complaining. Like this is like it takes great skill to do low comedy well.
Like the only thing they didn't do was like a fart in the elevator.
Yes, you're right. That was the only thing they didn't do was a fart joke.
Really, but yeah. I mean, do you ever think when you're in the elevator, like, I wonder if I could get my nut stuck in here, and if that, how would that happen? Like, under what circumstances?
I'm sure you wouldn't think that, but I mean,
well, no, but that's what I'm asking.
Have I ever thought about getting my nuts caught in an elevator
is
door
dangerous.
closing?
I could get my nut stuck in here.
No,
at some point.
I have to say that among all the things that has never occurred to me, I have done the whole like I'll just jump at the last second if the elevator falls. That I've done, but I've never walked into an elevator being like, man, escalators.
Now you're going to.
Now I'm going to all the time.
You're afraid of getting your nuts stuck in an escalator?
No. It's the feet. You're always afraid of getting your feet chewed up in an escalator.
I had that yesterday because my shoes were untied and you were like, don't do it. Wait. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to fix that right now because I don't want to actually, at the end, then I will have to step out of my shoes because I'm not getting my toes.
And those are nice shoes.
Oh, well, thank you.
Very much. So yeah, it's like the puns, the physical comedy in this, it's great. I was also right about one thing. Okay, I'm going to hang my hat on this. I was right about one thing after last episode when he has the merch. It's not Oscar who gets murdered.
Yes.
Or killed. Yes,
that flashback
Mabel is not
from the first episode.
Yes. And that has nothing to do with this season whatsoever.
Yes, that was just
nothing whatsoever.
It was
just an absolute and complete red herring.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Like
the biggest red herring.
The biggest red herring of it all. Like nothing to do with anything. And I was even gonna like a couple episodes back, I recognized that we guessed and I was just like, I bet Cinda Canning bought this podcast for only murderers in the building. But no, it's like she really is that. I thought that does beg the question. First, now we're getting into season 2. So at the end of all this, they get Jan. They're celebrating. They're on the roof. Mabel goes down to get more champagne. The fire alarm goes off again. Everybody evacuates when we're back to the very beginning of everything, and they come on Mabel. And anyways. You know how that happens. As they're walking out, Cinda Canning is there.
Yeah.
So why is she there? Why does she know what's going on?
My first guess was if we were going to do another mini season of Only Murders, it was that Cinda did it. That she actually did it.
Oh, okay, we can get it. I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, but I have my thoughts that Poppy may have told them to get the hell out of the building.
Yes, because he didn't recognize the number.
Yes, exactly. Anyways, but whatever. But my point is that like Bunny shows up dead there, and they're all like, again, it had nothing to do with this season. It was Bunny who was in there. I said it wasn't Oscar. It was Bunny.
You were right. Yeah.
Once again, bunnies hate whales.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyways,
is this a Plato thing?
This is no, this is not a syllogism. This is just an interconnect. Like everyone, like Charles and all of them realize they are all connected. This is just a fluid, independent connection.
Love that ridiculous quote. I mean, it's clearly written by Oliver, but it has a gem That's
Sure.
just not polished.
It's clearly
yet.
written by the writers of this TV show. Like, this is
Yeah,
absolutely
but they
their message.
write
to
it again.
This is the moral of the story.
Yes, but it's written in the voice of Oliver,
Yes.
which could use a little polishing.
Oliver and his flair for the melodramatic.
Yes, because a connection was made among three strangers willing to embrace their own messes to realize we are all connected. Yeah. So connection twice in the same sentence. And then it goes on to say, because we went into this wondering who is Tim Kono, only to realize we are all Tim Kono. And I still don't understand that. It just seems...
Isolation connection, which is also what Jan talks about when she is killing Charles, because she's just like, it was so, she's felt so privileged to be brought into his isolated world. And this is a touching episode too, because I really, like, there's Amy, what's her last name? The actress
Amy Ryan.
Amy Ryan. She is amazing. Because like when Charles has realized that she's not first bassoonist, Oliver and Mabel have realized that she's the one who was dating Tim Kono and probably killed him. So they meet and they're like trying to tell Charles, she did it. And he like tells them he doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to believe them. He pushes them away. And then Jan rushes over. And there's a beautiful little moment, like when he's confessing to her that like, even if you did kill Tim Kono, I would still love you because I'm falling in love with you. And this is such a perfect little moment because he's so desperate for connection. And you're just like, Charles, please see the fact that this woman you love is a murderer. Let go of your really pressing need to like be connected to people, which he does later on when he's on drugs. It's a great, whatever. I'm going to stay in this moment for right now. Anyways, Amy Ryan, Jan has this great, like Charles says he loves her. Amy Ryan has a pause just long enough for the audience to be like, oh, she really doesn't love him, and to worry for him.
Yes.
And then she comes in and says it. But the pause is not long enough for Charles to like be upset about it. And he looks like he's buying it. But her acting in that moment, like she does this little like eyes slide to the side and but it's like a great little moment,
which is a tell.
Oh yeah, it's a total tell, and it's just a great little close-up, but it's not like, you do wonder if Charles is going to buy it, and it looks like he does until you find out later on that he didn't. It was all set up and he's been recording the whole thing.
But at the same time, and he is using his own words, which is satisfying, not using a script to
question her.
Brazos,
like he's not, when he does question her about all this, he's not, because he's laying out how he, after at a certain point, he starts to lay out to Jan. They come clean and he lays out to Jan why they think that she's a murderer, and she totally flat up admits it because of course she's poisoned him and she thinks he's going to die. But he does. You're right. Charles is using his own words. He's not falling back into his Brazo-isms. And all that.
In order to connect. So he is connecting with her, but. Yeah.
But it's not that he's connecting with her, because he has connected, but he's in his own power. He's not hiding behind a character.
Yeah.
He's not hiding behind a role. He has finally stepped into himself, which is the other moment I wanted to talk about. Like when so he's high as a skunk, and in another hilarious bit of physical comedy, they put him, in order to like take him around, they put him into the little dog stroller, which has turned into Oliver's, like gear cart. So they put him into that to like go fix the gas leak that Jan has put to the whole building. But like he is still high as a kite, and he like rips his way out of the chair to talk about how much he loves these people and how like they have
helped
me
first because I couldn't live without either
right,
because
these people, he's made the connection and all this. Again, his own words and not Brazos-isms.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah, so there are some really meaningful...
It's beautiful.
Wonderful.
It's a touching...
Beautiful. And then Mabel knocks
out...
In
between the nut jokes. There's a lot of touching little moments. Like this, yes, there's
touching.
Mystery. There's like physical comedy. There's heartwarmingness in it. Like, come on. Like, just great show.
Yeah. And Oliver's son comes back and they
hug. Oscar has his name cleared up, and Mabel finishes one wall. She doesn't finish the whole apartment, but she does a drawing on one wall of like a painting
beautiful
of all the people in the
looks
apartment
like
building.
The only murders in the building.
Credit sequence, yeah.
It's so nice. So I guess
and then it all gets ruined for season 2. Thank God.
So we're just all lined up.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
So do you have to, now that there's a body, and there's been a title sequence. Do we have to guess on who did it for season 2?
Well, I mean, I already did. I think it's Cinda.
All right. I'm going to actually wait and give myself until the next episode at least a little bit here.
Okay. So one more thing I just wanted
One more thing about okay, you're going to give us some evidence.
The thing. I mean, I love anybody who's making fun of NPR. I love NPR, but I love it when what's her name? Poppy?
Poppy is the assistant. Yes.
It is Poppy?
Yeah.
She says which I feel like is just a callback to Noises Off. Like, it's just them wanting to, like, roll that character.
Roll that whole kind of, like...
Because there are, actually, we didn't talk about this, but there is another line, "You're nothing without me," which Oliver says to Charles because when they're on the roof. And I'm like... oh my God, that's my favorite song, my favorite line from my favorite musical, which is City of Angels. You're nothing without me. Without me. Anyway, so then, and so then maybe Poppy is also an allusion to Noises Off.
And Lord knows they've got some playwrights
farce.
on this staff.
Yes. Anyway, and then so...
as they're being perp walked out the building, Cinda and Poppy are there.
Poppy says, what does she say?
She literally comes up with the idea to call the new podcast Only Murderers in the Building.
Yes, and Cinda says, that's great. I said that.
I wrote that.
I wrote that.
That's mine.
That's mine. And if you ever say differently, you will be stocking the NPR refrigerator with La Croix until you are 50. And I was like, oh my God, I could just hear Ira Glass saying such a thing. Or I don't know.
No, don't ruin Ira Glass for me.
I know. He didn't. I love Ira Glass. He did not say that. But it's so wonderful to think that any of those lovely people would have said something like that.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that people who are lovely on microphone or on screen might actually be jerks in real life or behind the scenes? No. Quelle surprise.
I'm gripping my pearls.
Yes, clutch those pearls. No. People are upright and standing citizens. Upright and upstanding. Oh my goodness. I can't speak anymore. But speaking of upright and outstanding, we should hand out Christies.
Yes.
And obviously, I think this gets 10 out of 10
Perfect.
Christies.
10.
Even from the Russian judges.
Oh my God,
just 10.
So great. 10 episodes, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Well done, guys.
Nailed it.
Yeah. For all the reasons that we've talked about on all these episodes. I swear to God, like, I want to go back and read that deaf script, like, everything. All of it, the characters, the acting, the misdirection, the collusion, the red herrings, like
all the storylines,
all of it,
all the different motivations, all the different interconnections that are not and at all, and
the comedy and the heartwarming and everything, all the Christies, all the Christies,
and a comedy murder, like not a soft comedy, like a real comedy murder.
Not afraid. This comedy was not afraid to like kick people in the nuts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So great. Like they were flat. Like this was not like a little hot. Like I mean, they also had the soft puns, but they also had some real like farce and all the way with this show. Yeah, everything.
Yeah, and making allusions to a true crime. Like that's what everybody's wanted to make fun of so hard, and they just nailed it. So, okay.
That's what we thought, though.
Yes.
What did you think? How many Christies would you have given this? What did you like? What did we miss? Like, what like weirdness should we have talked about that we didn't? Let us know.
Yeah, email us at cluedunnitpodcast@gmail.com.
Hook us up on Instagram.
Yeah, you can go to our website, too. Write us there, cluedunnitpodcast.com.
Send a carrier pigeon. If you're around Squamish, look for me on the streets there as I like orienteer my way to the podcast adjudication headquarters.
But they're hidden, right?
Oh yeah, they're they're quite hidden.
You're gonna have to like knock on some rocks.
I can't tell you
mountain.
what I have to do.
Oh. Wait, you've been there? You've seen it?
Maybe.
I think maybe they blindfold you and drive you there.
Can't, look, I've already said too much that you know that it exists, like that it's there outside Squamish. So no, I'm not going to tell you how to get there. They will be overrun. Like how many podcasters do you think they have? Like they don't need everybody
you
going
and
there.
Paul Scheer are the only people who probably know where this place is.
Jason Mantzoukas really wants to know, but we haven't told him yet.
So unfair.
But yes, please tell us what you thought, and we'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon. We'll keep you guessing. No, maybe you should keep guessing.
What are we
We'll
guessing?
all guess.
We're guessing. More guesses.
More guessing.
All right. Bye.